In this video, we're talking about the Tyrant Designs T-Comp for the P365XL.
This is the hour, the darkest place. Dante's Inferno, the devil's maze. It's a good world. Good world going bad.
So in previous videos, we've talked about all sorts of upgrades for this P365XL. Now, so far we've installed the Mischief Machine Omega grip module, new grip panels. I have the TLR7 sub on here. This is the Viridian RFX 15, which we'll talk about in a future video. I'm not done with testing with it yet. We have the Faxon P365XL tin barrel, which is threaded and fluted and has been performing awesome. And this right here is the Tyrant Designs T-Comp for the P365XL. This is an easy to install compensator. You can pretty much orient however you want on your gun, which is nice. They do make other compensators. This one right here is a unicomp. So this compensator right here basically fits on just any gun with that 1/2x28 threading. Pretty much my DIY Glock, which is a little bit different than the T-Comp for the P365XL. They have very similar profile. The T-Comp is a little bit thinner, which actually fits the profile of the P365. You have the same width going down. It runs flush with the gun. It does add a little bit of length to the front of the gun, so this compensator is probably really nice for a P365, maybe something a little bit shorter, like not the XL version. But even so, this thing turns the gun into a very flat shooter. Frame?
Yep.
Oh yeah. It has like a little chamber down here, and I'm not used to seeing that, which is interesting, but when you take this thing apart, there's actually a little hollow chamber that looks like it kind of redirects the gases down and up. Now the thing with a compensator is that's the function of a compensator. It takes those gases that are expelled from the barrel of a gun and then it redirects them in a direction that's going to help mitigate some of that recoil, keep your gun from flipping up, directs the gases up on your gun, which pushes your barrel down when you fire. What's cool about this guy right here is it doesn't really matter what orientation you put it in. You can just keep twisting that, and it has holes all around that stem. So it'll pretty much fit just about any configuration you want. So here's some of the stuff that you get with the Tyrant compensator. So when you open the box, you're gonna get a little baggie of O-rings. I've used a couple of these already. You get a little wrench that you can use to install. And then you have the compensator stem right here, and the compensator body and chamber right over here. Now I'm not sure if I'm using this terminology properly. And also what you get are some stickers and stuff like that, but those are long gone. I've had this for quite a while for testing. One nice thing about this compensator is it doesn't require disassembly to install. So all you do is you take the chamber or the body of the compensator and you put it on the front of your gun. Then you take your compensator stem, stick it right in there, and then you screw it on. It doesn't really matter what orientation the actual compensator stem is in. So you can install this, and I could pretty much put it in 8 different configurations that won't drive my OCD mad. So I'm gonna take this guy and just turn it right about a little further, right about here. You can kind of see you have like the little happy face. You got that little face right in there. So this is an acceptable configuration for the compensator as well. Now I do use the O-rings with this. It helps kind of keep things in orientation so the compensator doesn't twist off as you shoot it. But what's nice is that's all it takes to put the compensator on. You have multiple configurations to install it. Let's see if the addition of the Tyrant CNC T-Comp compensator helps. Let's see if this makes it nice and smooth. It's cool looking. Yeah, that recoil is almost nothing. Wow. That's pretty cool. It seems to be, actually seems to be pretty effective. Let's see if I can go after some steel now. Inside the compensator, you can see it's no longer gold in there. It's pretty built up with carbon after a couple mags. You know, it seems to be holding up, hasn't been jamming on me or anything like that. I have noticed that compensator is kind of unscrewing itself, so I almost wonder when you put it on, if you put a dab of Loctite on it instead of just relying on the gasket's pressure and stuff like that, that probably helps. I put a couple hundred rounds through this thing and it's been running just fine. Fax and Barrel's been a great complement to it, and adding this T-comp over here has been really helping keep that down too. You pretty quickly forget that this is a micro compact gun. Obviously the compensator does make it bigger, but this gun is getting extremely comfortable, and when you add this compensator to it, it really just helps keep those gases. It helps keep that muzzle down. It is not a snappy gun anymore whatsoever. So there are some goods and bads about this compensator right here, and let's talk about them. The good news is it seems to be effective. It seems to be doing a good job adding some of that weight to the front of the gun. At the same time, it's also doing a good job taking those gases and pushing them up. So it seems to be doing its job. It's keeping it a flat shooter. It's fast. It's not affecting performance negatively in any way. The only problem is, why would you want to install this compensator? Now, I have a couple guns that are CCW guns and they're ported, so essentially they're very similar, right? That's going to redirect those gases upwards. One thing with this compensator is, since you do have this chamber right on the front, it's going to kind of affect your holster use. So if you have a holster for a P365XL, or even just a holster for the TLR7, the light mounted holsters, it's going to have to be an open front holster. You're going to have to do some kind of holster modifications if you intend to keep this compensator on your gun. However, if you want to take your gun out, even if you want to try to compete with a P365XL, which I intend to do, by the way, yeah, you could just take this thing and you put it on really quickly using the wrench that it came with. I showed you guys how easy it is to put this compensator on. So overall, the compensator works well. I do enjoy it. I think it's a pretty cool, it's a pretty cool addition to the gun. Now, I do want to keep experimenting with different types of muzzle devices on this, but I think that Tyrant Design's compensator is pretty effective. I chose gold because I already had that tin barrel, so I feel like that gold compensator, which is anodized, it just kind of adds to that look. It makes it look like it just has a big ass long barrel on it. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all found this video useful. I'll see you guys later.